Well, it's that time again that I'm getting ready to hit the market to get another batch of cabbages. These ones are almost 3 months. We say about 85 days from transplant, and these cabbages are ready for the market now. See, I've been working on a system whereby I'm uh, I'm growing these cabbages in batches so that I can have a consistent supply of the cabbages all through, and also now to have that to ensure I'm protect myself from any glut. Whenever there are price fluctuations, I'm covered, because now when I grow these cabbages in small batches, I'm able to sell them in retail. So this is like, since I started this is a fourth batch. Yeah, this is a fourth batch, and as you can see, they are ready. So that's what I'll be to harvest now and get this to the market. You see, this particular batch has really outperformed itself. If you notice, you can see how the cabbages are most of the heads are formed quite uniformly, and they are quite large. So what I'll be doing before, when I harvest, I'll get a weighing scale. I get a weighing scale so that you can see, at least get an average the weight of these cabbages. But just before then, I also want us to look at, see how the cabbages are ready for harvest, and there is no sign of disease. They are quite healthy, no disease, no insect attack. So how are we able to achieve this? See, I've done some videos previously, whereby we have been having challenges, especially with cabbages. We've been having challenges with black rot disease. So it's a bacterial disease whereby you have some V-shaped lesions on the cabbages, whereby they turn yellowish, and if and that once the disease kicks in, it's quite difficult to get to reverse, and we've encountered several times losses due to this particular disease. But one thing I noted is, if you feed your crop properly, yeah, the chance, and you see, the number one thing you do first of all is the choice of the variety you choose. At least you try to get a disease tolerant variety. And number two is the feeding. Ensure that the crop gets enough nutrients, well balanced, and to start with is the soil. Ensure that you feed your soil properly, and then a crop as well, using either the base oil fertilizer from the manure, because here now, like here, I did compost that I generated at the farm, then manure, compost, then there is a planting fertilizer, then a top dress, and in addition to the fertilizers, I do a consistent foliar feeding that ensures the crop is healthy, and that once that the crop is well fed, it's less susceptible to this pest attack as well as diseases. That's why you can notice that this batch, all the leaves are green. You can barely see any yellowing of the leaves. Yeah, the crop is quite healthy, and that's one step. You can see, try to feed. Sure you feed your soil properly. Sure your soil is there's enough organic matter, and with that you'll even have to, see, because you're doing this. If you're doing this as a business, you want to spend less on pesticides and all that. So if you feed your crop properly, well balanced, you'll definitely spend less on maintenance. Also, you'll get healthy crops, and less losses. There'll be no losses due to the disease attack. So one advantage I got from this particular section that has contributed to the good health of this particular crop is that this part, if you can see, I don't know, clear behind me, there are lots of trees. So this part here, there were a lot of trees that are recently cut down. At least you can open up space to allow for growing of these vegetables. And with that, this place was barely being grown. Nothing was being grown here. So there was lots of organic matter due to the leaves that were being shed by the trees. There's been lots of organic matter. In addition to that, I added some very rich compost during the transplanting of these cabbages. With that, you can see the result. The cabbages are healthy. The heads that are formed, they are quite even. Yeah, with that we get good results, and definitely with the quality of this cabbages, they'll really attract a good price at the market. Yeah, so it's always good to ensure you properly feed your crop. That will give you good margins during the sales and also reduce your costs of production. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to harvest a few of this, get a few samples, then we can weigh them out and see, the performance, at least the average weight of these cabbages. I told you, the camera will be able to do justice, but cabbages are quite huge. See, and they are well formed, quite firm. So we are hoping they'll tip the scale. So let me get a few so that I can now get a scale and see how heavy, on average these cabbages are. So here we go. What I want to do now is I want to see on average how these cabbages have performed. So I'll just be weighing them one by one and see. Now get this. Now the scale, this is a 3.3 kgs. This other one, 3.7 kgs. This other one, 3.4 kgs. So the idea is that, so the idea I'm getting is that I'm getting an average of about 3.5 kgs for these cabbages. It's quite a good performance, and with the quality of this, they are well formed, definitely going to be fetching a good price. So that's more like it. Feed your crop properly, and definitely will get a good returns out of it. So thank you so much for watching. Till the next one, happy farming.